So I wanted to do a recap of RetroCon 7. This is obviously their 7th one. It is the 4th out of all 7 I've been to. I've been to the first. Been to the first. I've been to 3 and 2, 3, 4, and 7, or 1, 2, 3, and 7, and I missed the last 2. I don't know. There's a couple in there. I may have gotten to 5. I can't remember. Anyway, I don't want to get off track, and I want to do a quick little recap. So basically, I went there with my brother and his roommate, and we actually were amongst the first in line. We got there super early, and we were glad that we did because there was a line going outside of the on-center. We had a standard Saturday pass, which means we get in right as it starts at 10 a.m. VIP members, I think, got in at 9:30, so they got a 30-minute head start, which we weren't too worried about because none of us three were looking for anything like super rare, but I had my heart set on getting some GameCube stuff. And with the Nintendo Switch being as popular as it is, I kind of figured that, a lot of GameCube stuff is going to be on the high end. So, there was one guy who was offering to sell me a copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube for $35, and I walked away from it. I kind of regret it, but I kind of don't at the same time, only because the condition of the disc was not great. I don't remember if it had a manual or not, but he was really cool about it. But anyway, quick recap is what happened. Got in there right away. We had great turnout, a lot of really cool vendors. The raffle prizes were really cool. The one, because I knew I wasn't going to be there long. They had one. It was a fight stick, but it had the Final Fantasy VII design and logo printed on it, as well as a custom soundtrack or some kind of soundtrack. But it was modeled after the inside back panel picture of the Highwind in Final Fantasy VII, or at least that's the color scheme they were going for, like light blues and yellow, or light blues and whites. And it looked beautiful, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it because I wasn't going to be able to stay for the raffle. And unlike most big places that do raffles that will literally call you if you won, they don't do that. You got to be here for this. So, or maybe they, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I know there was a board game raffle they were doing where you had to be present for it. If not, they will call. They will go to the next person. So maybe they did do it that way. I don't know. Anyway, so we get in there. Like I said, good turnout. A lot of good people were there. A lot of sellers. I remember, a lot of people promoting indie board games. There was a couple of them that had some really high quality stuff. One guy was selling kids games. And then there was somebody who was selling card games that were a lot less quality, but he was asking a pretty penny for them. And here's the thing, when it comes to stuff like that, especially now that I've gotten into board gaming, I do want to support people, but I can't support them at that level. Like, this is something that I would do for fun. Like, that was the level. Like, it was literally like, they cut out different colored construction paper, hand drew like pictures and literally cut lines that were written on a printed piece of paper and pasted them, and then laminated this thing on and made it their own version of a card. It was some pretty cheap, gaudy stuff, but I respected the enthusiasm, and I was asking about prices, and they're like, well. The two-party games that are basically just 3x5 index cards, those are $20. These two over here are $30. And I'm thinking to myself, you're freaking high. When they have Play the Game, Read the Story, which is our card store, our local comic shop card store, when they're literally kitty corner to them and they're selling premium stuff for around the same price, you got to step up your game. So that was a little upsetting. As far as video game vendors go, a lot of them were pretty cool. A lot of them were, were kind of on the nose with the pricing. A lot of them were willing to negotiate pricing. I will not forget that one woman had a copy of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for $100. Didn't say why, just said $100. And it wasn't sealed. I didn't ask anything about it because I figured there was going to be some ridiculous story behind it, which personal stories apparently drive up the price. So, that kind of irritated me. Although, according to, I don't remember if it was my brother or his roommate, they asked and they really didn't give a reason. They were just, oh, because it is. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to ask to, and the funny thing is, to kind of backtrack here, I literally told this story to a couple of guys who work at the local GameStop, and all of them had the same response. They go, that's more than what the game is worth still sealed. And this was a player's choice version of the game, I believe. And if I'm wrong, it's like a difference of $10. $100 for Wind Waker? No, never. I mean, I got a deal from a guy I do business with regularly. Like, I buy and sell from him all the time, and he actually hooked me up with a really good deal on Wind Waker that same day for a fifth of the price. So, other than that, we were promoting their new local beer called Full Restore. Quick little story about that. Some people got together who were promoting the event and decided they were going to make their own custom beer for it. Now, I am a fan of beer. I like the taste of beer. I'm not huge into alcohol. I mean, there might be like a brief period where I said, yeah, I'll have a screwdriver or something. But it's very few and far between, and like that phase is just like only there for like a couple of days, and before you know, like, I'll forget about alcohol and I'll be like, ooh, the new holiday soda is coming out, and that'll last for like several months. But yeah, it was clearly modeled after the Pokemon theme, like the whole outer label of the can was like modeled after like the maps of the original Game Boy Color games. Right off the bat, you need to be a fan of very hoppy flavored beer to like this, and at $10 a can, I'm sorry, it was not worth it to me. The label on my particular can was kind of falling off, so quality wise, not the greatest. Again, $10 for like one of these is ridiculous, considering the fact that they sell tall boys of name brand beer for like $1, $2. So I understand. They got to make their money back on this, and it's a special thing that they're not widely selling. I get it. So, not mad at them. I'm just saying I wouldn't go back and get seconds. A lot of people there promoting art, pictures, pixel art. There was one vendor who irritated me to no end because of how they set up their display. They literally had like a small narrow pathway that only one person can fit in at a time, and on one side you had video games and on the other side you had like collectibles. And the problem with that is that the side with the video games was literally 3 levels of different video games, not labeled in any real particular way, and they had no prices on them. And whenever you go to ask someone for a price, one guy says, hold on, let me go ask the other guy says, hold on, let me go check this on my phone. So that was kind of upsetting. Other than that, it was pretty good. I got 4 games, and I got 1 board game. And considering that I stepped into this hall with $80 in my pocket, I'd say that was really good. Considering that I got 4 GameCube games, and I'd say 3 GameCube games and 1 PS2 game. And the 1 board game goes for, it's basically a reprint of an older 70s board game. It was not Cosmic Encounters. I wish it was. I've been wanting to check that out. Ultimately, it was a really good time. I bought the tickets online in advance, so I ended up paying for 2 tickets about $36. It would have been $20 if we had paid at the door that day. So saved a few bucks. which, if we wouldn't have gotten there as early as we did, we would have had to go and wait in line to get tickets, and then wait in line to get inside. So ultimately, whatever. Wanted to try it out. So it was fun. As far as people and celebrities over there, they had the original voice actor for the first, like, the Metal Gear Solid games. They had the voice actor for Princess Zelda from Breath of the Wild. John Riggs and Johnny John Riggs was there, and there was another streamer there who, for the life of me, I'm not remembering his name. John Hancock, sorry. I've watched him stream on Twitch. He's really entertaining. I'd say the saddest out of all the people there actually was their highest YouTube celebrity. Like, I've had the privilege of seeing Johnny Hancock play on Twitch, and he's really entertaining. He really is, and he's got a good taste in games. John Riggs is someone who I've watched his videos and I've chatted with a little bit in the YouTube comment section. Really cool guy, really down to earth. And I like to, and I have respect for him and what he does. And then there we had Pat the NES Punk, and when he was one of the last minute announcements for this convention, and literally it was so he could literally go in and sell merchandise. Not one time did I saw people there, like, maybe I don't know if they were there for him or there for, like, because they had like a little video game standee next to him. I don't know if he was part of that or not. But multiple times I looked over, and for the second convention in a row that I've seen him at, the same one, I never see anybody there. No, I don't really have anything against the guy, other than I feel like his opinions sometime on a lot of things is very flawed. I mean, but to be fair, so, I have very flawed opinions too. I just, see, like, when they announce big names to be at a convention, it usually goes well. Like, when they announced Angry Video Game Nerd James Rolfe, the people were lining up. Like, there was lines going out to the main hall to go see this guy. When they announced the Game Chasers were going to be there one year, people were there to see them, although they canceled last minute. That pissed me off. Grimsy 42 was there, and he was pretty cool about it. He's their friends. Oh, he's friends with them, so. Oh no, I say I had a pretty good time. It was a lot of fun. We only were there for about 3 hours ish, 3 maybe 4. I doubt. No, it was definitely around 3 hours. We didn't stay long. I'm the kind of person where, in those settings with all those people, like mentally, I just get so drained. Physically, I was still coming down with something, so, like, I wasn't 100%. My brother and his roommate had spent enough money, so all in all, it was a lot of fun. I would definitely go back again. I might go back next year. Just the week this fell on, it was just so chaotic, because I remember the Sunday prior to that, there was a family get-together. Wednesday was Halloween. Or, I'm sorry, no. Wednesday was mine and my wife's wedding anniversary, which we were out for most of the day. Thursday was Halloween. Friday, I had to be back at work first thing in the morning, and I was not feeling 100%. I did not sleep that well that night. The convention was Saturday, and me and the missus and the daughter are still not 100% feeling well, so, here comes Monday, and we're all pretty drained. So, despite, like, all the running around and all of the, the holiday stuff and all that, it was just been a crazy week, and I had a lot of fun. I really did. I definitely plan on going again, especially if the board game presence there is strong. Again, they need more of that. Their live play and their competitive gaming stuff, it was pretty awesome. Like, they had some pretty good music going on in the background. They had a big turnout for that. So, all in all, I definitely have to give RetroGameCon 7 a big thumbs up. And who knows, maybe in a future video I'll show off what I got. So, y'all, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna drink some water and try to feel a little bit better.